An American actor and musician now calls Bollywood home. Alexx ONell made his way into cinema with roles in films like Cheeni Kum, Watan, Watan and Chittagong. He's also appeared in Indian reality shows like Nach Baliye, but his most passionate project was last week's period courtroom drama based on the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Kesari Chapter 2.
Hey, this is Alexx ONell, and you're watching me on AVS TV.
To make you stay, I'll sit here in the pain of what you did yesterday, 'cause it's been 7,000 miles.
Your journey from Broadway to Bollywood has been nothing short of cinematic.
Yeah, it has been an adventure, Mohit. It's been a privilege to be a part of this industry. And I look forward to chatting with you about the journey that took me from North America to India.
Well, before we get to the journey, first let's dive in right into Kesari2, your recent project.
Yep.
I mean, without giving away spoilers, tell me what was your first reaction when this sequel came to you? What was it like?
Well, look, Kesari2 is a spiritual sequel to Kesari. It doesn't follow the same storyline. It doesn't follow really anything. It's a spiritual sequel in the sense that it's highlighting a heroic individual from the past who rose up against oppression using more than just brute force, intellect, using the system, changing the system. And essentially, it is another perspective on the Amritsar massacre, which has been covered a number of times, even most recently with Birth of a Nation by Ram Madhvani. So it is not a surprise story, but it is another perspective. It's delving into another side of these events, which really were an inflection point in Indian history, in world history, because these were shots heard, to use the phrase, these were shots heard around the world. My privilege to be a modest part of it. Obviously, there's a huge cast involved in this film. You have Akshay Kumar, this is my second film with Akshay. Our first didn't do so well, Joker, back in 2012, I think. But my expectations are very high for this. And working with Madhvan for the first time, even though I've known him for years. Just a wonderful experience working with this team.
Mr. Akshay Kumar, and like you said, you're working with him again.
Yeah.
Now he's known for his discipline and humor. Tell us, how has the experience been? How has your bond with him evolved over the years?
Akshay is great. I love chatting with him. I love working with him. On Joker, we had a lot more laughs than on Kesari2. But it was no less a pleasure to work with him, even though the subject matter was much heavier. And I look forward to working with him again soon.
Dharma is known for that family love films and so different to what we are getting to see here. How did you prepare to step into this world of valor and battle?
Stepping into this wasn't all that different for me. I've done a lot of films that are quite serious and are less song and dance, less of the quintessential Dharma production. And Dharma, through dharmatic making A Watan Mere Watan, and that being also a very hard-hitting, very serious film.
Let's get them all.
हमारे पास ब्रॉडकास्ट से पहले सिर्फ 5 घंटे हैं। इससे पहले कि इंजीनियर हमारा पता बता दे, ब्रॉडकास्ट करते हैं।
आखिरी लड़ाई है और अब ये नहीं रुकेगी।
देश के लिए आपके बलिदान पर हमें गर्व है। करो या मरो।
सच तो यही है कि अंग्रेज आतंकी हैं।
अब ये रेडियो पूरे मुल्क की आवाज है।
I will find the radio.
वंदे मातरम!
This was not much of a departure for me. In fact, oftentimes the departures are more the song and dance, over-the-top dramas. Yeah, I don't do as many of those. I do a few every year. I do at least one. But most of my work is more in the space of Ram Madhvani's Aarya or Santosh Shivan's Urmi or something like Madrasapattanam, or these films that are maybe a little bit more hard-hitting and less song and dance.
Under Darium yana kurikar. Avana karinda. Varsole.
Avarjaichta.
Otomote eretium. Kortere. Nanjaichita.
Indapakame Varamata.
I get very curious when you work along such superstars. What are those one or the two qualities that you really admire about their craft or that really stands out? Okay, this is where I think I can work on. Maybe this is what I take away.
Professionalism. It's being there on time. It's knowing your lines. It's giving your cues. And when I say giving your cues, this camera right here is on your face, right? So if we just cut to that one camera, you could be talking to anyone right here. So if I was a superstar, I could say, well, I'll put an assistant director in the chair and let Mohit talk to the assistant director for his take. But a lesson I learned on my first Bollywood film, which was Cheeni Kum, is that when it was time for my close-ups, AmitabhBachchan stood there and gave me my cues. And that kind of professionalism, which is not necessary of a superstar, they can do whatever they want, really. But that kind of professionalism is something that I find is really indicative of somebody's length in this business. You'll last long if you're professional. You won't last very long if you're arrogant.
What is it?
Keema Saleh Morg Pilaf.
And what is that?
Oh, right. It's a stuffed chicken rice dish. Fragrances.
You mean keema bhare salim morg ka pulao?
Right. There's Saleh Pulao.
Saleh pulao.
Even Mohanlal, you know, one of the most down-to-earth guys I've ever met, came up to me after our last shot, patted me on the back, and we had a lovely conversation. You would not think that he is an internationally acclaimed superstar, but he is. He just happens to be such a humble and nice guy. That is actually surprising. But that's what I respect the most. And I see that, you know, when I work with the biggest superstars. And to me, that's the reason, really, why they have had such a long career.
I'm not one of them. I'm an Interpol officer. These men took me by force and held me against my will. My name is McCarthy. Agent Robert McCarthy. MI6 is searching for me as we speak.
I mean, we also get to see you in Phule in a very different historical figure.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How did you research and emotionally connect with that role?
I play a very supportive character, one who has a lot of sympathy for what they're going through, and frankly, one who wants to help, but for his own reasons. Everyone has their own motivations. But he is a positive character. I did enjoy working with Anant. I always enjoy working with Anant. He is an actor's director because he's an actor himself. So I will always say yes to working with Anant because I know that the story he's trying to tell is important, impactful, and is going to be beautifully picturized.
You're challenging the religion of the upper castes.
विधवा होना भाग्य में है, गंजा होना नहीं।
विधवाएं चाहें तो पुनर्विवाह भी कर सकती हैं।
ये पाप है।
हमारे उत्थान के लिए हम नए समाज की शुरुआत करेंगे, सत्यशोधक समाज।
सबसे बड़ा उद्देश्य रहेगा कि किसी को शूद्र नहीं, दलित कहा जाए।
Tell us what has been some of the most challenges that you have encountered in this journey so far.
It's kind of been a journey that has just snowballed over the years, not without a lot of hard work, but it certainly has been a story of one project leading to another. You know, a DOP, a director of cinematography, director of photography that I worked with on one film would recommend me for his next film, and then a first AD on that film would become a director and bring me on to another film, and then and so on. So it's almost like it's like the branches of a tree.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth, and so that's kind of the story of my journey. And then the pandemic hit, and all my films stopped shooting. All my releases got stalled, and I'd been making an excuse for years that I wasn't releasing my music because I didn't have time. And then suddenly all I had was time.
And there was music.
And there it was. So then I started releasing my music in the pandemic.
Reaching out to say that you always cared, but I shouldn't even try. Now I don't even want to. It's time to say goodbye. I don't expect to hurt you. It tears me up and
Thank you again for your time. One message to all the fans in North America, what they can expect from Kesari2, what's in store for them.
This is a film about another former colony rising up against, at that time, what was the largest power in the world, the British Empire. We did it in the US. They've done it much more recently here in India. It is a backdrop out of which heroes rise and oppressors are slain. Inflection point in history. Truly an important film to watch.